This episode is brought to you by RL Creations. Are you looking to turn your ideas into wearable art? Or maybe make a t-shirt into a one-of-a-kind, just like your personality? RL Creations is waiting to turn the blank canvas into your custom creations. Hit her up on Facebook at RL Creations or text her at 806-283-3056.
Are you ready? Are you ready? Let's get it on!
It's the JP Lopez Show.
Welcome back to the JP Lopez Show. We're going to do something a little special, a little different today. Mr. Is, every opportunity I get, I thank him and speak highly of him because he really was the final piece of the puzzle that made this show like a motherfucker, bro. Because of you, I think I've expanded my reach, and because of you, I'm continuing to expand the reach of this show. And dude, thank you, bro.
Hell yeah, man.
But with that being said, man, I know I was kind of forcing you and shoving you into this direction that we're taking today, but it's not to say that I forced you into it. You thought about it, and you're like, you know what? I think we should put it out there because we tried this once just to have it just for you to sell the book. But if we put the story out there, I think it'll help others.
Oh, yeah. I mean, as long as anybody can take anything from it,
Yeah.
and it'll help them, that's all that matters, bro.
So the story that we're talking about is Mr. Is' life story. And when we did it the first time, we had my buddy here, who is an actual counselor, I guess.
Yeah, psychiatrist.
And you dropped her jaw a couple of times. Yeah, you came with some heavy hitting information that was, I mean, it's your story, bro, and I can't stress enough that I think people need to hear it.
Yeah, I mean, I felt bad, I ain't gonna lie, just because, you know, I think you know that I did like 14 or 16 years of counseling.
Yeah.
That's how I got to where I'm at now. And, you know, as a counselor, somebody listening to that, man, it's a lot to hear, you know, people's shit, you know, and depending on how sensitive that individual is, it could be a real lot on them. So I felt bad, you know, kind of like,
No, yeah.
oh, man.
No, I get that. I definitely get that. And I get that it took work to get you to this. So then asking you to do this shit, you probably were like, man, fuck you.
Nah. Now, I mean, shit, I'm an open book now. My comedy's all about the traumas and, you know, and I think thanks to the counseling, man, like I was able to look at it from a psychological standpoint, all the shit that I went through and kind of better understand it from the outside, you know, rather than being a part of it at the time.
Yeah,
So,
okay. I get what you're saying.
and get like a unique perspective on some of the shit.
Dude, your recent post, it's been a couple weeks, but fucker, man. The set you did laying down on the floor.
Oh, yeah.
I was like, this fool.
Stabbing my brother's dad. I like to trauma dump on these college kids, bro. It's my sense of humor.
You were on the ground and you were talking, and you made me think of when, you know, being a kid, when you're talking to like your crush and shit, and you're doing the most randomest shit, like you're laying on the fucking washer and dryer, and you're like, so why do you like me? Like,
Twirling the hair you don't have and shit like
that's the shit that it reminded me of. I was like, this fucker.
I told my girl, I just want to have fun with the open mic, bro. Like, you know, it's boring just standing up there. So, like, I've been thinking of gimmicks and shit I want to do.
I'm kind of sad that I still haven't hit a Bar PM open mic, man. I really need to get out there, and it's just work, and then the fucking Thursday night that I do have off, I'm either fucking recording, and I'm just like, fuck, I need to go check it out.
Hell yeah.
Yeah. But anywho, man, congrats, man. You're a new grandpa. That's got to feel all kinds of emotions, like a roller coaster in yourself.
I've been crying for the last week.
Like commercials and shit.
Yeah, I'm just like,
I didn't know I was this soft.
It's just, I don't know. Like I was saying, it's just It's the most beautiful feeling I've ever felt, other than when my daughter was born. And it's just like, based off of what my life is that y'all hear,
Yeah.
it's like the ultimate sense of accomplishment, man. And I've never had a feeling of accomplishment like I have now.
Okay.
As crazy as that sounds.
Yes. Yeah. That's
just,
awesome.
It's just beautiful, man.
When you seen the baby first time,
Yeah.
did it hit you,
Oh shit, I was crying.
or did it take a while to sink in?
Nah, I was crying.
Well, you had a lot of time to prepare, bro, because that was what, like a 3-day, 4-day.
I was at the hospital for 26 hours in the waiting room.
But then they sent you home, and then you had to come back.
Oh,
and
man.
it still didn't happen that day. It happened like the next day, right?
Oh, okay. No, so you talking about the whole
Yeah,
the whole
yeah.
experience? Yeah. No, it was been like for the last 2 weeks there was a lot of, I guess, false labor. You know, my daughter obviously doesn't know. It was her first child.
Yeah.
So we didn't know when she needed to go, when she didn't. So
Yeah.
when the contractions first started coming on, of course we're like, oh, we need to go to the hospital. And then they're like, well, no, it's not quite time. And then they ended up, I guess, gave her a wrong due date. So they thought she was going to be due sooner. But they're like, oh, she's might actually be
Yeah.
2 years. So that's really made up this whole last month. Was crazy about it.
Okay.
Because she was supposed to be in June for the first due date.
Yeah.
But then when they, actually looked and measured, they were like, well, she might actually be July. And then that's how I said, like, that last 2 weeks was just wild. Going to the
Damn.
hospital, getting sent home, just like, okay. But then the day actually, July 4th, we were all joking around. Oh, she's going to be a July 4th baby,
Yeah,
Independence Day. We go to the hospital 6 in the morning. 6 in the morning, we're at the hospital. And of course, my daughter and her husband are back there. So I don't know what's going on. And I'm just getting, like, every 2 hours, I'm getting a text. We're good, still waiting, we're good. Oh, she's definitely going to be going into labor. So me and my mom were at the hospital because we were like, I was just like, I need to be there. That's my baby. Just
As long as you're there.
as long as I'm there, I know that once she delivers, her and my granddaughter are good, then I'm good and I'll leave.
Okay.
But yeah, shit. 2 hours to 3 hours to 5 hours to man, altogether 26 hours. It was June 5th. No, July 5th. When she was finally born in the morning.
Yeah. Yeah, because you thought 4th of July, baby.
I thought 4th of July, baby, man. I was so excited. And then, no, she wanted to stay in a little bit longer.
Yeah. That's 2 birthdays, 4th and the 5th. Fuck it. Yeah, that's badass, bro.
But yeah, no, the first time, when I didn't get to see her that day. I got to see her the next day.
Yeah.
And yeah, man, when I seen her, man, I was just like, shit. Started crying. Like, ugly crying.
Is your daughter gonna be the type of daughter to leave her with you alone?
Well, me and my wife.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah. I mean, because there are some people that are out there like won't ever let their child go. You know what I
Oh,
mean?
yeah. Nah, right now she's...
I'm not saying now, but eventually.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, eventually, yeah.
Yeah,
But right
cool.
now she's typical, new mother.
Oh,
Doesn't want,
yeah.
We have to put sanitizer on our hands. We have to wear a mask.
Oh shit!
Like, I
You
did
ain't
get to
getting my
kiss
baby
my
sick.
granddaughter the other day, though. I was like, mwah.
She's all mad.
Oh,
Motherfucker.
spray yourself with Lysol. I was like, what? Like,
Man, bro. Congrats, man. That's beautiful.
man, I appreciate it, man.
They say you don't know what love is until you become a grandparent. Is that true?
But no. I mean, like I said, my daughter was the first time I ever felt love or knew love. And this is just like,
But they say
a
that
deep
that
love.
grandchild comes on even stronger than that. So I don't know.
That's what I'm
they
saying. Me
say.
personally, I'm like, it's equal.
Yeah.
It's equal. Like, I've heard that too,
Yeah.
but for me, I'm like, it's equal. I love both of them.
That's cool, man.
And I even love the little knucklehead that got her pregnant.
He's alright.
Yeah,
too.
I'm like, yeah, all right, bro. I guess you good now. Officer, father, son-in-law.
Yeah. Whatever the fuck.
Yeah, whatever.
Dude, fuck. Let's get into it, brother. Whatever topic you want to start it with, let's just.
We'll just do generic, man, from the beginning, I guess, you know. I was born April 5th of 1986 here in Lubbock. I've always been in Lubbock. One of those people that never got to escape, you know.
Yeah.
But one of the most, right off the top, one of the crazy things is I was actually born dead. I was a stillborn baby.
Damn it.
And according to my mom, which I believe her, you know, I was dead for approximately 17 minutes.
Holy shit, bro.
Yeah, 17 minutes. They had already declared me dead, but luckily the doctor that delivered me didn't stop.
Yeah.
He kept on doing chest compressions or whatever, and 17 minutes later, I cried and breathed my first air.
Okay, so, like, did they know while she was giving birth that you might be dead?
That I don't know, man. She just says that when I was delivered, she didn't hear me crying, and she knew something was wrong.
Yeah.
And then, they basically were just like,
That's a stillbirth, right?
Stillbirth, yeah, stillborn.
Damn, bro.
So, I mean, I was alive in the stomach. Something happened, I guess, during delivery, you know.
And that's why you're hard-headed now.
That's why I'm hard-headed. That's why I'm dyslexic. So I can't read and write and shit. Like, no oxygen to the brain.
All right, you come to, your first memory was leche.
Yeah, tatas. No, but so that delivery too is a little story, you know, like my mom tells me that my dad had got her pregnant, and when he got her pregnant, of course, he became one of them dudes that's like, I'm not the dad.
Yeah.
You know, like, fuck you. But what happened was he had got another chick pregnant too. So I have a stepsister that's like a couple of months younger than me. And so he had my mom and that chick pregnant at the same time.
At the same time.
And so when my mom was giving birth that day, she said she tried calling him, and every time he would just tell her, like, that's not my kid. That's the son of a dog. That's an animal. Leave it alone. You know, like, talking shit, you know. And so she ended up, you know, being a single mom, really. And my grandma, may she rest in peace, you know, she was an evil motherfucker.
Yeah.
Generational trauma, we can get into all that. But she was pretty fucking evil, bro. She you know, she told her that she was stupid. She was like, cabrona, you know, I told you were gonna fucking be a single mom, you know, talked all kinds of shit to her. Hated it. Hated the fact that my mom slept with a half-white dude.
Oh, really?
Yeah, so she didn't like me just because I was mixed. My grandma.
Yeah.
Like, I wasn't pure Mexicano, so believe it or not, my grandma didn't like me just for that reason.
Damn.
But yeah, she became a single mom, and then you know, obviously I'm not gonna know nothing from that time, but my mom tells me that I thought I was homeless from like first grade to fourth grade, but apparently we were homeless since day one.
Oh, shit.
Yeah, I barely learned that recently. So like I said, you know, my mom was without my dad because he fucking bitched out. And so my grandma would treat her like shit. My mom's one of 7 that my grandma had. And then, of course, my grandma was a single mom. But anyways, she kind of like let her stay at the house and then would kick her out. Well, kick us out, you know.
This episode is brought to you by Tigre Burrito. If you haven't tried them out, then you're missing out. Their hours of operations are from Tuesday through Saturday, 7 a.m. to 2 p.m. They specialize in breakfast burritos and lunch specials. If you like that pica pica, try that hot sauce and let them know that it's the JP Lopez Show sent you. They can be located at 720 Highway 62 in Wolford, Texas. It's the small yellow building with the Tigre tiger on it. Rawr.
This episode is brought to you by KJ Aesthetics. Let KJ Aesthetics transform your eyes with their beautiful lash sets. Whether you're going for the natural flutter or the bold drama look, KJ Aesthetics is the perfect lashes to elevate your beauty. Get the gorgeous lashes that you've always wanted and mention this ad for 15% off. Head over to Instagram at KJ Aesthetics or text her at 806-893-7171 and tell her it's the JP Lopez Show sent you. With nowhere to go.
Nowhere to go but our car. You know, at that time, my mom said it was like, I don't even remember what kind of car she said. She had some kind of car. But yeah, she would just have to go sleep in the car. And I asked her, I was like, well, why didn't you ever ask your sisters or your brothers? And apparently my grandma would tell them, don't fucking let her stay there.
Damn.
Like, don't let her stay there. And they would listen to what my grandma said, like.
She's the youngest of 7?
She is the second to the youngest. You know what I'm saying?
So she had brothers and sisters that could help her.
Oh, well, yeah. They already lived on their own.
Yeah.
But, I mean, my grandma had a lot of pulls. Unfortunately, she was one of those that would turn the family against each other.
That's a lot of hate in that heart, bro.
Oh, a lot of hate, bro. And I know it's supposed to be, but it's like, I used to call my grandma evil and shit. And I mean, a lot of the shit she did choose to do.
Yeah.
But when I learned her backstory, I was like, well, fuck, bro.
No wonder.
Just to give you a brief reference on that, I'm the stereotypical me, kind of like my family comes from Mexico. My grandma and my grandpa were actually the first generation Americans.
Okay.
Born into migrant families. And so they met when they were young. They were like 13, 14 years old, working the fields.
Yeah.
Some fucking town. I don't even know where here in Texas. But basically, my grandma was being molested by her dad. And the mother knew. But the mother was like, shut the fuck up. So, that kind of trauma shit.
Damn.
And so when she met my grandfather, he was like, yo, let's go. Let's dip. So she basically took off with him as a way to escape the situation she was in. And think about it, bro. This is back in fucking, 40s?
Yeah.
They don't give a fuck about Mexicans, and they don't give a fuck about any of that shit. So she ran. She ran with my grandpa, who was only a year older, 14. And then they just, back then, I guess that was kind of normal. They did the whole migrant thing. Ended up here, working the fields, La Limpia and shit. But right off the jump, she got pregnant. Started having kids. She was fucking 13, I think. By 14, had her first kid, my uncle.
Oh, shit.
Like right off the bat.
A kid with a kid.
Kid with a kid. And
working migrant work.
Yeah, and then fucking year after year, pregnant, till you got to 7. So when you really start looking back, you're like, well, fuck, man, she was a kid. She was running away from a fucked up situation. You know what I'm saying?
Half her life pregnant.
A dude she really didn't know. And then they were so young, I'm sure my grandpa, because my grandpa also was a singer, a really good singer. So I'm pretty sure he was out there, fooling around, bro. They were young, you know what I'm saying?
Papa was a Rolling Stone.
He was a Rolling Stone, bro. They working and fooling around and shit, But yeah, just some of her background, I was like, man, you got to feel for that.
Yeah.
Nobody really gave a fuck. The unfortunate thing is she continued that generational trauma onto her kids. And so by the time my mom was probably like 5 or 6 is when her dad and her mom divorced.
Yeah.
And she ended up with just her mom and all the kids with my grandma. And then, of course, that house was just fucking evil, God. Different men coming through, the whole touching kids shit, know what I'm saying? And then there was a whole lot
so
of
that was generational curse right there.
Right there, dog. Just kept it going. Kept it fucking going, bro. You know what I'm saying? And grandma, abusive, bro.
Yeah.
What we would call abusive, beating the shit out of them, like just mistreating the fuck out of them.
Did grandma turn a blind eye to it? Like her mom did?
Oh, yeah. And then jealousy. When they, you trying to take my man, that stupid shit. Like, you're like, the fuck? These are your kids. And this is a fucking grown-ass sick fuck. Like,
Damn, man.
The fuck you talking about taking your kids, Yeah. But that's the shit that happens. That's that generational shit, bro, And so, I mean, that's kind of the background on, my mom and my grandma as far as, So, my mom, she said, she had never really been with a man until my dad, and then he got her pregnant, bitch-ass dude, and then did the shit he did. And so, like you said, half them were moved out. By that point, it was just my mom and like 2 of my tias or something. But yeah, my grandma would just mistreat my mom. But there's another background on that. When the divorce happened, the grandma pulled the whole, you choose your dad or me. Mm-hmm. And my mom told me since day one she loved her dad, like loved him. So out of all the kids, she chose him.
Well, I mean, you go where the love is.
Mm-hmm.
You can't fault the child to go where the love's at.
Exactly. But because
especially
of that,
if they have an option.
Because of that, my mom became public enemy number 1 to my grandma.
Fuck.
and just fucking hated her and mistreated her out of all of them the worst. You know,
Because she turned her back on her mom.
because she turned her back on her mom. You know.
Yeah.
So when I was born, that was basically what was going on. You know, she was like, "You stupid ass bitch! I told you, you know, you're gonna be a single mom. Now you're a single mom." My mom says, you know, she was working McDonald's and like my grandma would take her checks from her and then like kick us the fuck out with no money.
Damn it.
Like just put us up in the car, man. And so apparently, like I said, you know, I barely learned. Like I was homeless since the jump, bro, living in the fucking car off and on. And then, you know, eventually we lost the car. So we fucking just be walking, taking buses and shit, you know, like. But I do know, like, this is, of course, my mom always filled all this in. Like, she did end up leaving with no. Let me before going to San Antonio. My bad. She actually did meet a dude, man. I always mention this dude. She met a dude. We'll just call him B. You know what I'm saying? B was a little bit older than my mom, but he had always had a crush on my mom.
Yeah.
I always had a crush on her. Told her he loves her, and so I was like 1 year old. She said when B was like, you know, they had already known each other, and he was like, "Hey, I love you. I love your son. Let's get married." But my mom she tells me she was still in love with my dad, still hoping someday he'd come back. So she told him no. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. And every time she tells me about this dude, she cries. She says he was a great dude, man. Like he always treated me right, everything. We don't even know he wasn't really like a boyfriend or nothing.
Yeah, yeah. And you can't fault her for not wanting him at that time.
Yeah.
She wanted your dad.
She was hoping he would
Yeah.
come back. And so, you know, B was madly in love with her, man. And it's crazy because, like, she tells me, it was either when I was going to be one, I think I was going to be one. She finally decided, she was like, I'm going to go ahead and get with B because B's real nice to me and my son. Well, unfortunately, the day she decided she was going to tell B that she wanted to be with him, B got murdered.
Golly.
And B got murdered. I ain't even bullshitting. Over $25 fucking dollars. So B had lent this dude $25, and never. She said he was the type of dude that would never ask for it back. Never, nothing. But this dude just, for some reason, thought he had to kill him instead of paying him back $25.
$25.
And not only did he kill him, he killed him on his front steps of his mother's house.
Damn, bro.
So that was the first like heartache for my mom,
Yeah.
bro. Like, so I just bring that up because I always want to mention B, man, just because she talks so highly of him and like that, you know, it's so crazy how one thing my life would have been different, her life would have been different, you know.
Yeah.
But that happened, man, and then, you know, one of my tios lived in San Antonio. And so my mom said that he hit her up because he knew that my grandma was treating her like shit. He's like, well, bring you and your son to San Antonio. Come stay with me and my wife. So my mom said we took off over there. And this is where it's kind of funny. I like to joke around that I was a model. Because, you know, while we were in San Antonio, my mom said she was working at a little warehouse, something. We were staying with my uncle and his wife. But San Antonio had a modeling competition for Pampers. Like Pampers. And I ain't gonna lie, I was a pretty ass little baby, man. So my mom said I entered the competition. I came in second
Oh, shit.
out of everybody in San Antonio. She said I would have won. So it got so far, because I'm gonna mention my modeling career. It got so far that they were already taking commercials with me and whoever the other child was.
Oh, nice.
And I was the one that should have been the main one, but I wouldn't stop crying during the commercials.
Oh, fuck.
So that's my sensitive ass is the reason that my modeling career didn't go further. So they sent us home with $500 and some diapers, and that other kid got to be the face of the Pampers.
yeah.
And
Damn, bro. Wow.
so I was like 2 years old at that time. But yeah, like I was like, man,
Pinche Chion, shut the fuck up.
I could have been that dude from Cloudy and the Chance of Meatballs and shit. Like, see that? That's me in the diapers.
Damn, bro.
Yeah, missed out on a great opportunity, man.
All because he wanted Chi-Chi.
All because I wanted Chi-Chi, bro. I wanted to be crying like a little punk, man. But yeah, nah, so we was in San Antonio for a while, and then my mom started having some issues with my uncle. But it was more so like...
And this is the brother of your mom, right?
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, one of her older brothers.
Yeah.
And so, I'm going to just be real, like, for years I hated this dude. I didn't even know my uncle, and I hated him from the stories my mom told me.
Yeah.
Right? Come to find out here recently, literally within the last 2 years, none of that shit was what I thought. My mom, I don't know why all of a sudden she's being completely honest with me about everything.
Yeah, yeah.
But yeah, my uncle was not a bad dude from the perspective of what she tells me. So when she was there, she wouldn't feed me like enough protein and stuff. So he was just like, you need to feed the baby, more.
Yeah.
Just kind of helping her out. But she took it as you're telling me what to do with my kid.
Oh, shit. Oh, yeah.
And then he did mention to her, I think what really rubbed her the wrong way was he told her, look, sis, you're only 19. At that point, she was 19. Me and my wife were stable. I think he worked for the city of San Antonio. He had a good job. So he's like, why don't you let me raise him? Leave him with me. Let me raise him as my son. And my mom just was like, no, that's my son. Like you're not going to raise him, So they had a little falling out, and she chose to come back and stay with my grandma.
Damn.
So we ended up fucking back in Lubbock.
And your grandma took her back?
Took her back, but same shit my mom said, the same fucking shit, bro.
Damn, bro.
Same fucking game. Fucking we come, stay, get kicked out. Come, stay, get kicked out.
Yeah.
Just stupid. It's so stupid to think that that's how it was, but that's how it was, dog. Like, And then, let's see. I'm trying to think, man, like.
So you come back to Lubbock. She's still 19?
Yeah. So, I'm just kind of pushing years forward, like.
And then, so y'all come back, stay there. Y'all don't go nowhere after that?
No, we're back in Lubbock, staying with grandma. And then, my mom was able to put us into like a house. I'm from East Lubbock, so we were always on the east side. And so she says, she put us in a house that actually belonged to one of her sisters. So one of her sisters, my Thea, I guess, owned a house on the east side and let us stay there, a little 2-bedroom. So this time I'm around 3 years old, getting close to 3 years old. Because this is when my earliest memory kicks in.
Yeah.
So we're living on the east side, and the earliest memory I have was the night that somebody busted in trying to fuck us up, And so I remember it was the middle of the night, and the room was just dark, and we had one window that the moonlight would come in. That was what would light up the room, And of course, I remember waking up and hearing my mom screaming. I don't know what the hell she's saying, obviously. I'm like fucking 2-3 years old, but I can vividly remember some shit. So I look at my mom, and my mom's kind of standing by the door, which is a straight hallway. And it's all black, bro. There's no lights on. And she's screaming down the hallway. And I'm just confused, like, what the fuck? Like,
Yeah.
And she says that I kept telling her, like, Mama, be quiet, go to sleep. Like,
Yeah.
Go to sleep, And she's like, I remember her turning around, and I can still see it, where her eyes are just tearing, man. And she's just like, shh. She's shaking. Baby, be quiet. And then turning back down the hallway and just screaming. And she had a broom in her hand. Of course, I didn't know then, but she had a broom. She told me she was acting like she had a gun because somebody broke in and was at the end of the hallway telling her, I'm going to kill you, bitch. I'm going to kill you and your son. And she was like, I have a gun. I'll fucking shoot you. So she's having a yelling match with whoever this is in the fucking dark down the hallway. And
posing as the broom as a gun.
That's a gun. And I'm just like,
yeah.
But I remember my mom was like, she finally came back and she's like, baby, I'm going to put you out the window. I need you to go across the street and I need you to tell the candy man, because there was a family that sold candy in the house in the corner.
Okay.
Go to the candy man, tell him to call 911. And of course, like, I'm not saying I remember all this. This is me and my mom having conversations,
piecing it together.
What I do remember is I was scared to get out the fucking window. Of course, I was like, what the fuck? But this is like a little humor in it. Y'all remember Land Before Time?
Yeah.
That cartoon. I don't know why that fucking cartoon scared the fuck out of me, bro. I don't know why it scared the fuck out of me. But I remember telling my mom when she's trying to put me out the window, no, Land Before Time is out there. So imagine, like, if you think about it now, it's like my poor mom is over here trying to keep us from being murdered and shit. And I'm over here like, no, Land Before Time is outside. Like,
It's not funny, but it
no, I
is.
mean, you gotta find the humor and shit, bro. So, she's like, get out. She's like, so she finally gets me and puts me out the fucking window, and I fucking book it. And I remember vividly seeing Land Before Time on the fucking roof.
Yeah.
Like I'm her looking back.
Like, they're watching me. Yeah.
Fucking dinosaurs can talk. So, obviously, I probably went over there, knocked, whatever. The cops showed up promptly 2 hours later.
Nice. Yeah.
You know how it is.
Yeah, just on time.
Yeah, but my mom said, honestly, what happened was when I got there, the dude came across the street to see what the fuck, and that scared that fucker off. Whoever he was hearing a man scared him off. But not before that motherfucker found either flour or baby powder, something, my mom said, poured it on the ground and wrote, "I'ma kill you, bitch."
Damn, bro. Fuck.
Well, he had booked it out the back door and took off and shit. So that's the earliest memory I have of, that. And my mom said, cops showed up. Of course, they don't give a fuck, And they're like, do you know who it was? She's like, I don't know who the fuck. I didn't see him. He was just talking about coming and killing us. Wrote this shit down. Said he's going to come back. So my mom said, everything was good that night. And then probably like a couple of weeks later, 2 weeks later, 3 weeks later, he broke in again, but we weren't home. Or she's assuming it was the same dude. But yeah, we weren't home. So by that point, my mom had been telling my aunt, hey, give me a gun. I need to be able to protect me and my son. Like, somebody's fucking breaking in, threatening to kill us. I don't know who the fuck it is, And so my aunt, rather than getting a gun, she was like, well, I know this dude who just got out of prison that needs somewhere to stay.
Motherfucker.
And y'all have a 2-bedroom. You're not using one of the bedrooms.
Yeah.
And of course, my mom's like, I don't know who the fuck this dude is. I'm going to have him come stay with me and my son.
Fresh out of prison.
Yeah. But she was like, nah, it's either this or nothing. I don't have a gun for you, So we'll call this fool Big T. But Big T ended up staying with us, And my mom says it was awkward as fuck not really knowing this dude. They were about the same age, but she didn't know this motherfucker. Of course, right off the jump, he's trying to make advances at her because
Motherfucker.
she's a single mom and she was attractive, So he's already
And then fresh out of prison.
yeah. So already trying to make moves and my mom said she would be like, no, I don't know you, I don't like you like that, whatever, But I guess he lived with us long enough that she honestly tells me, she goes, nobody ever fucked with us again, and so she started to at least be like, well, he is protecting us. And so she said, she's like, I eventually just succumbed to, it wasn't a love or anything, just I succumbed to his advances.
Yeah.
And so Big T, I don't really remember that time because, I was fucking like 3 years old.
Yeah.
But like, he wasn't like a stepfather for me or nothing. Like, he didn't.
But just think, bro, like what you just said, a lot of families come from that.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of families are made just because mom is just tired of choosing the wrong guy and says, fuck it, I'll give him a shot. I don't really like him, but he'll do.
Yeah, he's keeping us from getting fucking broken into and killed.
That sucks, man. But I get it.
Yeah.
I get it.
So Big T came around, and then sure enough, got her pregnant, so my little brother, Little T, he came around. So I probably had just turned, cause we're 3 years apart, so he probably just came when I was 3, And so, like I said, I don't really remember a lot of that. By the time I'm 4, I start having more memories and shit. What I know about Big T was just, I wouldn't say he mistreated me. I don't remember him like fucking me up or nothing, but he just didn't really show me no attention. I wasn't his. You get what I'm saying? It was that kind of situation. Like, you're not my kid. He would show my brother love, bring food for my brother and my mom, but not bring me nothing.
What?
No, like,
you're a kid.
Yeah, like my mom tells me that shit. Like, she would get into it like, hey man, you gotta feed my other son too. Like, but he's like, well, he got his own dad, even though the motherfucker wasn't around,
Damn, bro.
So of course that was, that situation. And then I remember, we ended up living with Big T for a little bit, man. And he got us into an apartment and shit. And I guess, things must have been good because that was the first time, like, I had a bedroom. I had a little race car fucking bed that who knows where they got it, Had a Nintendo when that shit came out.
Fuck yeah.
So it was cool. It was cool, but, like, I don't remember that forever, like, being a father. Like I said, he was just that dude that's dating my mom type shit.
Was he always home or not really? That you remember?
I can't remember, like I said, but, like, I do know he drank a lot. Of course, so that's when the violence started up, The violence started that I can recall from the drinking. But, like, it wasn't so much them fighting each other, bro. This is where it gets crazy. It was them beating the fuck out of me. So my mom, we're going back to generational trauma. Her mom would beat the fuck out of her and all that. And so it just became something that continued on to me.
Damn it, dude.
But this time it was her and Big T beating the shit out of me. You know what I'm saying? And I just remember being confused. Because a lot of times you're like, well, what did I do? Like, why am I getting hit? Why am I getting beat?
And it was for no reason.
That you're a kid. You don't know what the fuck you're getting hit for, And so, there was a lot of that with Big T, and my mom. Like, sometimes I recall, bro, being asleep getting beat. Like, beat awake. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Like, they would go, I remember they would go out or something. Somebody was watching us. I know somebody was watching us. But all I remember is being, like, woken up being beat. For whatever reason, they would just beat the fuck out of me while I was asleep, and I'd wake up to being beat. So it was a lot of, like, child abuse. You know what I'm saying?
Damn it. Freshly woken up to an
like
ass
you
whooping.
deep sleep, getting beat the fuck out, and then you wake up because you're getting beat the fuck, and you're like, what the fuck? It's hurting, and you're confused, like, what the fuck? Like, but that happened more than, like, once, like, that I can recall. And then, like, I'm not trying to put people on blast. Like, I love my mom. We're a whole different situation now, but, like, I remember a lot of times being beat while they were smiling and laughing, and you're just like, the fuck, like.
Damn.
Like, why do y'all take joy in this shit? Like,
Like, bro. Yeah.
It's just weird, bro. But, it was crazy because, like, I do remember, too, like, my grandma would beat me, too. When I was there, my uncle who lived across the street, that motherfucker would beat me. So, like, my whole childhood was being abused.
Just a punching bag.
Just beating, like, yeah, like, I know I'm going all over, but, like, I remember one time my uncle grabbed me and, like, my grandma's fucking hallway's right here, and there's a bathtub way at the far end. He literally picked me up and threw me into the fucking bathtub, and I, like, fucking hit my head and passed out.
For no reason. Like,
I can't recall, bro. I'm just like, look, I'm an adult now. Obviously, we're adults. What the fuck could a kid do to deserve that kind of shit anyway?
From everybody.
Yeah, everybody, dog, everybody. My grandma, I told you, I know it was a lot of racial, like, because it was always pinche bolillo, cabrón, like. That's
nuts.
It was just a lot of hatred, man. But, like, too, like, even my mom, bro, was a lot of, like, whenever it wasn't T beating me, my mom would beat me, sometimes it would slip. And this is where I learned in psychology or in counseling. She'd be like, like, I would laugh a certain way. She beat me because she's like, that's how your dad laughed. Like, you sound like your dad.
Oh,
or
shit.
I smiled and I looked like him. She would beat me because I looked like my dad. So it would piss me off, and I'm not going to lie, I'll admit, it pissed me off because I was getting beat for some motherfucker I didn't know. Like,
yeah.
I'm like, I don't know that motherfucker. I'm sorry I sound like him. I'm sorry I look like him. But you don't have to beat me, you know what I'm saying? Like, and then, of course, a lot of times when you're a kid, I grew up Catholic, bro. So, of course, I was always praying to God that I wouldn't get beat every day. Mm-hmm. So that was I'm not going to say that made me fall away from God. I'm back with God. But for a while, I questioned God because...
You're like, why are you letting this happen?
Why are you not answering my prayers, I would ask, let me not get beat one day so I could heal.
Damn it, man. That's a whole lot to put on a kid, bro.
Yeah.
It is.
I don't know what happened, dude. It's just generational shit, man. Who knows what the fuck Big T went through to think that that's all right, you know, what the fuck she went through. Well, I know my mom went through some shit, but like, it's never all right, dog, to take it out on a kid, bro, you know? And so anyways, we'll fast forward, you know, like basically, like I said, it's just a whole lot of child abuse, physical abuse and shit. And then eventually the Big T disappears, you know?
And leaves your mom with 2 kids.
Well, yeah, but what ended up happening was Big T ended up off unaliving somebody at a party. You know, so it was self-defense, supposedly. We don't fucking know, but he ended up getting 7 years for what
doing
he
that.
did. So yeah, so now my mom, here we are, I'm 4 years old. You know, my little brother's around, and now she's a single mom with 2 boys, you know. And we'll go, let's see, around 5 maybe. We'll go 5 now. We were still staying at them apartments and shit. And I just remember, man, like I said, just a lot of the abuse just all the time. And then, of course, you know, I'm not going to get too big into it, but of course a cousin started coming around, an older cousin, Mel, and there was an incident of attempted molestation on me. You know what I'm saying? Luckily, it didn't happen.
Yeah.
I'm so grateful it didn't happen, but it was an attempt. And I'll admit, you know, I mean, a lot of people got that shit. My mom just, you know, caught it before it was about to happen, you know, and so luckily it didn't happen, man. But I bring it up because it's relevant later on, you know, like after that incident. I'm gonna make it funny a little bit, like that motherfucker, you know, he goes to jail, all kinds of shit, whatever, you know. But my mom, for some fucking reason after that incident, man, she would like to use it against me. And so sometimes, you know, she would get mad at me, whatever, and then she'd be like, oh, you little faggot, you must have wanted it, you know. And I'm like 5 years old, dog.
Yeah,
like,
no clue.
Like, what the fuck are you talking about? Like, but I only say it because in years later, talking to my mom, this is the kind of shit my grandma would tell my mom about the abuse that happened to her. You wanted it. You wanted it. You know what I'm saying? So you see the continuation of generational trauma.
Yeah.
And the behavioral pass to the next generation.
Because you don't fix it.
Because you don't fix it. You don't fucking fix it. You choose to keep going for whatever fucking reason, you know? But yeah, so I mean, that became a big thing. But then we're going to get into a little funny, though. So I'm 5 years old, just going through this trauma shit, right? This motherfucker trying to, you know, rape me. And then, like, all of a sudden, one day, this fucking dude comes to the house that I ain't never seen before. And my mom's like, baby, this is your dad. And I'm like, the fuck? Fuck you mean this is my dad? And it's a dude, Mexicano, fucking a black cut-off shirt with the arms, you know, muscles out and shit. And my mom's just like, you're going with him. This is your dad.
And he legit was your dad?
That was my dad.
Oh,
I
shit.
met my dad right after that situation. I guess she tells me what happened was
No,
she
but
didn't
what
know-
I'm saying is
Yeah.
like, it wasn't a guy she met. How,
No, it was
how
my-
women be like, this is your new dad.
No. This was my
your
dad.
dad. Yeah.
That I had never fucking met. Ever.
Damn.
I'm 5 fucking years old. And she's like, this is your dad. And go with him. And I'm like, the fuck?
Damn, bro.
But what happened was, after the incident, I don't know, I'm sure, you know, we can all speculate that she probably called him through the years trying to come be with your son, blah, 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 you know. Because his family still lived in town, you know, so I'm sure the fucker, you know, had some relation here. But anyway, she called him after this situation, and your son almost got whatever. You need to come fucking be a part of his life. Why he chose to fucking come, I don't know. But he showed up, you know, and this is the first time I meet this motherfucker. And so he takes me downstairs, and I remember this shit because I was so confused. Like, who the fuck is this? He had a nice ass little red sports car. Like, I don't know what it was because I'm not big into cars and shit. But I was like, motherfucker, nice. And it was like stick shift. I had never seen a stick shift. We get in the car, this motherfucker's blasting Ozzy Osbourne. He's fucking obsessed with fucking Ozzy. Because he's like, oh, you like this music? You like this? And I'm just like,
No.
fuck? Like, for me, I didn't like it on the
Yeah.
cool because I was from the east side, bro. And, I didn't talk about my big mama, but let me
But in all honesty, what 5-year-old's gonna like Black Sabbath?
yeah, I get
Really?
Yeah, like, but I'm just saying, like, let me jump back on it real quick, though. So on the east side, though, I did have a grandma that I, to this day, call my grandma,
Yeah.
even though it was just a small experience. So, like I said, I was probably like 4 years old. I had a big mama. It was a little old black lady that lived on the east side, real skinny. She was a big mama because she was like a great grandmother. That's what they called a big mama. But I remember, like, my mom would let me go stay with her sometimes when she'd be at work, and big mama would, take care of me. And she was amazing, bro. Like, the memories I have of that woman, that's my grandma, bro, But, like, sorry. She was just always like, get away from that door, baby. Them bad kids out there, because we had gangs
Yeah,
and
yeah,
shit.
yeah.
Like, but, like, I remember
Like,
she
she loved you.
She was all into fucking, like, Temptations, bro, Motown.
Oh hell yeah!
So that's
That
where,
was your shit.
I started hearing that as a kid, like, hey, like,
Yep.
this is my shit. So I just bring that up just to fast forward, So that was the kind of music I kind of, I grew up on that. And then, of course, my mom had the Tejano and the fucking country,
Yeah.
But yeah, this motherfucker got me in this car talking about, you like this fucking Ozzy, Come to find out, side story, if that motherfucker had stuck around, he wanted to name me Ozzy. That's how obsessed he was with that.
Yeah.
So my name would have been fucking Ozzy. But since that bitch dude didn't stick around, my mom named me after a fucking dude she had a crush on. Ismael. He was a mariachi from San Antonio.
Damn it, bro.
So I know I'm jumping around, but I just it's little funny little shit.
Big Oz.
But anyways, I'm in the car with this motherfucker, bro. And like I said, I don't know who the fuck he is. I'm confused. This motherfucker driving. Motherfucker takes me to, I guess, his aunt's house. And I remember meeting them and shit. They were like on the north side. And I had never really been this way, fucking on the east.
Yeah.
And like, they were just like, oh, they weren't mean. They were like giving me love and shit. But you're like, who the fuck are you?
Yeah.
And this motherfucker, yeah, I got to take off. Leave.
And then you're in a part of town you didn't even know existed.
Didn't even know it existed. Just met this motherfucker, and all he did was take me and drop me off at his aunt's.
Fuck, bro.
So now I'm there with her husband, and her kids.
With strangers.
And I was just
Yeah.
like, the fuck is going on, man?
Wow.
So that was the first time I met my fucking dad,
Yeah.
bro. I was like, the fuck? And then, of course, I'm sure, he came back, picked me up, took me home, whatever, like.
Damn it, bro. Fuck.
But I was just
Hi,
like,
Dad. Bye, Dad.
You're like, yeah, what? Oh, okay, yeah. But yeah, nah, so then, man, let's see, that's 5.
Was that the door opening to y'all's relationship, or he just never
Nah,
really
that
came
motherfucker-
around after that either?
Nah, this motherfucker, so something happened, within that same time period. Like I said, I'm about like 5. We ended up back at my grandma's. I think we got evicted or something. Because I remember I lost everything. My bed, all that shit,
Yeah.
my Nintendo, of course, we
Yeah,
got-
yeah, yeah.
So we're back at fucking grandma's. Now it's my mom, me, and my brother. And the same thing, bro. The same fucking stay here a little bit, then kicked out into the fucking car. Because I'm remembering now, well, not remembering. I'm
You remember it,
experiencing
yeah.
it. Like, it was, man, I always joke around. My grandma loved to kick us out in the wintertime.
Damn it.
For some reason, she would kick us out in the fucking wintertime, put us in the fucking car. Because it would be cold as fuck in that car, bro. We'd just be in blankets and shit,
Y'all, do you remember waking up and going to school? Or would y'all not go to school?
No. Yeah. I'll show you that because that was a whole part of my elementary was sleeping in the car, going to school, like, So anyway, like, we're back at my grandma's house just to finish off on the fucking bitch ass dad. He was around a little bit, but like he was that dude that's like, hey, I'm gonna come pick you up tomorrow, and they'd be like 2 weeks later. And my mom said, of course, I was that stupid kid at the door, like, no, Dad said he's coming today. He's gonna come pick me up. And he's like, he's not here. And then it would go from light to dark. And I'd still be at the door like an idiot, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And then, of course, he wouldn't show up. And then when he would show up 2 weeks later, he'd come pick me up, he'd take me. And so my dad was a player. He always had different girls. Always. He ended up at the end of it, I guess, the motherfucker probably still alive, I don't know. He ended up having like 13 kids from 12 different women.
Oh shit.
I'm the oldest though, you know what I'm saying? And
Damn.
so anyways, bitch motherfucker would pick me up and take me, and then like this is what really makes me mad. Cause I don't remember ever really like being like I need a dad. But what I do remember is this motherfucker was the first one to buy me a toy.
Oh wow.
So like he took me and bought me these cars because he was obsessed with cars. So he got me little Hot Wheels, and he's like, "These are your cars. These are your toys, son, or whatever." And then he would take me to the house where he was staying. And what pissed me off is he would be like, "Your toys gotta stay here." And I'd be like, "Well,
Yeah,
I want to take them home.
Yeah.
Like I don't have no toys at home. Like, no,
What do you
they
mean
gotta
stay here? I
here.
come here once a year, fucker.
Yeah, like, bro, I've never seen you, dog. Like, what the fuck? You know?
Yeah.
But, like, he would always date women with kids. And so I had to share my toys with those kids. And then I tell my girl, I'm like, I feel like that motherfucker would just buy toys for them. And just, but he'd let
And
me
say they were
unpack them.
yours
He'd let
and-
me
yeah.
unpack them. They'd be like,
Fuck.
they gotta stay here.
God damn, you were fucking raised as, like so unfairly, bro. Fuck.
It's comedic though, you
Yeah.
know, like you gotta
Yeah.
look at it like it is funny, like motherfucking bitch ass dude. Like, but yeah, so like, that fool probably was only around for like a month, maybe 2 months,
Yeah.
Realistically, because then he disappeared. Couldn't get a hold of him, nothing. My mom says I cried and all kinds of shit. Where's my dad, blah, blah, blah. But I don't remember it, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But I took it hard, And then, of course, I mean, like, in retrospect, here's a motherfucker, yeah, he did show up, once every 2 weeks or whatever the fuck he did. But at least he took me out, didn't beat me, didn't fucking buy me a toy to leave the other kid.
Yeah, yeah.
But, like, at my grandma's, I'm constantly getting beat, talk shit, then kicked out into the fucking streets.
So in a way, it was better.
It was a weirdly better.
It was an escape a little bit.
Yeah, like a weirdly better fucking
Yeah.
relationship, But anyways, we back with my grandma. Another funny little thing that I've said in my comedy. I remember like the first time we went to the fucking Salvation Army. Because we got kicked out so much, dog, that we were in that car. And of course, in the wintertime, it's cold. You're gonna fucking die.
Yeah.
So I remember we went to the Salvation Army. I was so used to not having a fucking, like, being in a car that when we went in that bitch, I really did think it was like a hotel, bro. We walk in and I remember it was wintertime and my mom was just like, "We're going to stay here tonight." I was like, "We are?" And she's like, "Yeah." I was like, and they had,
Okay. So, I'm thinking Salvation Army like kind of like Goodwill. You mean like a
I think, I don't know.
like a shelter.
It was downtown, yeah.
But that's what you mean, right?
Yeah,
a shelter.
It was a
Okay,
shelter, a homeless shelter.
Yeah.
Homeless shelter.
Okay.
I want to say South.
No,
I
it
don't
might
know.
be South, but I'm just saying I'm thinking of it like a store.
Yeah, no, my
no,
bad.
no.
My
No,
bad. My
yeah,
bad. Yeah. Thanks for
Okay.
correcting it. No, it was a homeless shelter.
Yeah.
But like I had never seen it before, never been there. And so like they had like bunk beds and they had 2 rooms, one for boys, one for girls. But of course we stayed with my mom and it was like bunk beds, they had showers, they had like, we went to go eat in the cafeteria and they had like little finger. That's the first time I ever saw pigs in a blanket, little finger foods.
Oh yeah.
And so like, I'm serious, dog. I tell my mom, I'm like, can we afford to stay here? Like,
Oh damn! You knew what that was
Yeah, I
at
knew.
that early age.
yeah, my mom was always like,
Damn,
we
bro.
lost our house because we couldn't afford it, or, so
Fuck.
I was like, can we stay? Like,
Yeah.
And then like, when they told me I could have as much as I want with the food, I was like, what? Because a lot of times we didn't eat that much, dog. Like,
Because there wasn't much to eat.
I was fucking, And then I remember like that was the first time I got a toy other than my dad buying me a toy, and it was it's people donate shit, so it was like it was a broken toy, but I mean it was something to me. I was like, oh shit. So I got like a used toy. I was all
Yeah.
excited, like.
Yeah. I mean, I can just imagine the stress that a child has, the weight on that you put yourself in. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You didn't deserve to put yourself in that situation. as far as like your mindset, but you're like, can we afford to live here?
Yeah, no.
What kid
like,
thinks like that? But you had to. I
Yeah.
mean, you knew no other way.
Yeah, because I mean, she talked about it. Obviously, like we can't afford that because a lot of it is just, when you grow up with a single mother and especially she worked at McDonald's, bro. She
No,
wasn't-
yeah.
So a lot of times you're at the store. I'm sure she was like, we can't afford that, son. Like, oh, we can't get that. So that's probably where I picked it up. Like, oh,
Yeah.
we can't
Yeah.
afford it. Like we don't have the money for this. And so, yeah, that's a funny thing about the whole homeless shelter, though, because you can stay there for like 2 weeks at a time, and then you had to get kicked out and shit or whatever. But like I said, a lot of the early years was just staying with my grandma. Sometimes it was good, not as far as the experience. I'm talking about just her not fucking kicking us out, but it was always getting beat. Always like a lot of what would happen was my grandma would talk shit to my mom, literally slap the fuck out of my mom. Then my mom would come slap the fuck out of me and my brother. So a lot of, like I said, that transference of fucking anger, I don't know, and then we slept in the same room on one bed, so it was just crazy. But like going to school, so like once I started going to school, the earliest memories I have of that was I went to elementary, and right across the street, my brother was in the daycare. Because remember, he's 3 years younger than me. Of course, we didn't have no clothes, bro. Had like one pair of pants, maybe 2 shirts, had the shoes that talked, fucking stunk. Cause like a lot of times, like a lot of the memories I have of like kindergarten and first grade was like, we lived in the car. So my mom would take me and my brother, we would sleep in the back seat. She would sleep in the front seat. It was a 1979 Buick LeSabre. We would go park at the church. So on the east side, there's a church called St. Patrick's. That's where we would go park. Because my mom felt that was the safest, and with all the violence and shit. And then if we couldn't park there, we would park somewhere close, like to a park. And so I kind of joke around, like it was cool for me during the day because I could be at the park all fucking day playing and then just be in the car. But like the way we had it set up was in the trunk, we had a cooler that had our milk, our ham, and then we had bread. We always had ham sandwiches and like Lay's potato chips. And then milk, or we go drink water or something, like that was our meals during the weekend, if we got to eat during the weekend. And then during the school day, we wake up early in the fucking morning and there's a car wash on MLK right off of 4th. It's shut down now, but it's still there. That's the car wash we used to go to. And my mom would take me and my brother to shower basically with the fucking pressure washer and Johnson & Johnson shampoo. Mm-hmm. And so we would lather our bodies and then you put your clothes on. And then my mom would go drop me off at the school before anybody's even there. And I would just stand in the front waiting for like teachers and people to show up. Or sometimes the teachers would be there, and then she would go drop my brother off and then she'd go to work. And then like, I remember like, I was that kid that I'm at the school, fucking there. I loved fucking lunch. I'd fall asleep during class, but after school I had to hide because my mom was like, you need to hide because if they see you, they're going to call CPS, whatever, because you live in a car. But she would never be able to pick me up till it got dark.
Because she was working.
She was working. So I would have to hide from teachers like a fucking criminal and stuff.
Yeah.
And then, of course, you just see all your friends leave. You see fucking people leave, and you just kind of sitting out there and shit. And then sometimes, man, like I remember one time she fucking completely forgot about me or something because it was like late. I was like,
how late is it gonna get?
I was like, God damn, what the fuck? Like, I'm gonna be ready for school the next day. But it was a lot of that, bro. And then like a lot of like when we would sleep in the car at night. We used to joke around. Now we joke around saying we would take shifts, But it was like my mom would,
on watch.
My mom would stay up half the day or half the night, let me sleep, then wake me up, and then she would sleep. And so that's why I was always falling asleep in fucking school because fucking I didn't sleep. And then in the wintertime, we definitely had to keep the car on. So you
definitely got to keep an eye out.
That's how we did it, man. Like a lot of just staying up, watching, making sure nothing happened. But I do like to say, like, some of the best, to this day, man, some of the best memories I have, bro, are late at night when it wasn't too cold. I ain't gonna lie, I shouldn't have been doing it, but I would get out of the car when they were sleeping. And if we were at the park, I would go lay on the little like jungle gym thing and just stare at the stars. And like that's like some of the best shit to this day. Like,
I can just imagine the shit you would think about.
oh shit.
Like the better life you would just think about looking at the stars.
I mean, in a weird way though, like, because even my counselor was like, "Well, what did you think?" I was like, "I don't think I knew anything else. That was my norm.
Oh shit.
That was my norm, bro. I didn't know. Like, I mean, I knew my homies weren't homeless.
Yeah.
I knew they didn't live in a car, but I wasn't out there telling everybody I lived in a car. And then, I mean, yeah, I was that kid that, I stunk. Of course, oh, why you always wearing the same shirt? Oh, your pants got fucking holes in them, But it's like, I mean,
You knew that was your normal.
yeah, it's like, it is what it is. I fucking lived for breakfast at school and lunch at school. Like, that's what I lived for. Like,
Yeah.
And then
Yeah.
shit, like,
That was guaranteed.
yeah, like fucking
2 meals guaranteed.
Yep. And then my ham sandwich in the afternoon and when I, in the car. And then sometimes on the weekend, like I said, we didn't eat, bro. Or if we did, it was like maybe a burger or something my mom could sneak. And so there was a lot of homelessness, man. A lot of just poor, bro. Fucking, and then I said, really just unnecessary. As my grandma wouldn't have just kicked us the fuck out. Like, but it was just a lot of that shit, man. And then, like, let's see, like I said, I was on the east side. A lot of the funny.
Is Big Mama still alive?
I don't know. I don't think so.
She's probably not, right?
Yeah, hell no. Shit, if she was, I'd go give her a fucking hug. Like,
Yeah. Yeah.
But yeah, and then I don't know where we at, how much we at.
We can end it there, man. We can end it. We can go next one, start your school years.
Yeah, we could do that. That sounds like a good
Yeah.
spot.
Yeah, dude. I want to comment on something. The worst people ever on this earth, in my eyes, are the people that take children's innocence. I spoke on it a couple of times, but I never really went in depth. But I don't remember how old I was, but it was an older cousin that was never really in our life because, I mean, he was older and he would come around from time to time. And it was just weird that one fucking particular day. And I remember, he did what he did. And I remember not knowing anything other than I'm gay now. And I was crying in bed like I don't want to be gay, but I'm gay now. And then going to school, like keeping that inside, and you know how boys are, gay, we say that about everything. And I just remember I was like, fuck, like I don't want to be gay. Like I got to keep this a secret. I can't tell nobody. And I sure shit didn't want to tell my parents because I knew my dad would probably fucking go to prison for killing the fucker. So fast forward, I don't know, maybe 2 years later, you're not supposed to know what that feels like. You're not supposed to know that you want that. You're not supposed to know. I mean, my innocence was taken. My innocence was robbed.
Yeah.
And I remember, fast forward a couple more years, it happened again, but it also happened from a female. And I remember enjoying it because I'm like, I'm not gay now.
Yeah.
But I should have never, ever went through that. Ever. I mean, I was way too young to even know what the fuck that was like. But since it was a female, a girl, I was like, oh, I'm not gay now. I like this now.
Yeah.
And then it fucked me up mentally for the longest, bro.
It's fucked up because there's a whole lot of that, bro. A whole lot of that goes on. You know what I'm saying? And unfortunately, what we're learning now is our government don't give a fuck.
Yeah.
They don't care. The most innocent people that should be protected, which is the children,
Yeah.
they don't give a fuck.
It took, I don't know, maybe about 10 years ago that So 10 years ago, I'm 34? So from that time happening till I'm 34, it still fucked with me in my head until I voiced it. I actually voiced it and told people what happened to me, and it felt, I don't know, it felt better. Like the weight lifted off me, and people shared their stories with me, and it happened to a lot of people, man. Because I would share that story, and then it gave them all their confidence to tell me their story, and I was like, holy fuck, like, what the fuck, man?
Yeah. In a weird way, bro, like, I always thought that I was lucky because it was an attempt.
Yeah.
It wasn't the full completion. Like I said, my mom just happened to fucking bust in, so. But it sucks, dude. It fucks a lot of people up.
Yeah, it fucked me up for a long time. A really long time. Bro, thank you for coming.
Appreciate you, man.
I can't wait for the next one. What do you think? We'll drop them once a month, if that.
Yeah, I mean, however you want to do
Yeah.
it, man. Just my whole thing is
It's just hard on you to relive it, and I don't want to put that on you, but
I just hope that if, by talking about it, man, we all have a story to tell, We all have lived lives. We've all gone through things, made choices, and I just want to put mine out there, like I said. So if there's some kids that are going through it, there's people who, have gone through anything that I'm going to talk about. I'm telling you how I went through it, how I got through it, how, like I said, I'm a big, big fan of counseling.
yeah.
Don't run from counseling. Go in there. They're there to help you. They're going to help you, and just, you're not alone, man. Look at my story. If you have the same story, you're not alone. And you can get through it, man,
I know it's maybe like a machismo or an old thing. If you had a dad, you grew up with a macho dad, it's in you to not go to the doctor because you don't want to find out something's wrong with you. But it's also in you to not talk about shit.
Yeah.
You just bury it. And I think you'll eventually explode when you buried so much shit, and it's
Oh, yeah.
just the raw emotion appears out of fucking nowhere. It's because you've buried so much shit and never dealt with it.
Yeah. It's not good to keep it in.
No, it ain't. It really ain't. But thanks, bro. I know that was deep, but I'll ask you, man. Do you have any final thoughts?
I'll just look right on time. Nah, just please don't be intimidated by the fact that I was a male model.
Yeah.
As a baby.
Don't. Dude, thanks for coming, brother. Shout out my sponsors. Love you, someone. Miss you, someone. Shout out my sponsors: KJ Aesthetics, RL Creations, and Tigre Burrito. Thanks to you guys. I'm nothing without y'all guys. And till next time. Oh, also, today I'm going to hit you with a special outro. That's going to be my permanent outro. Shout out Jack on the Yak, man. That dude came through.
Shit.
And he pieced up a great fucking outro. So most definitely, Jack, love you, man. Appreciate you and all that you've done for the show. But till next time, guys, read some books.
Cloud City.
Hey yo, JP, tell me what's the deal? Is it real that you got the hottest podcast in the land of the trill? Then tell me what's the deal, because I really need to know it. The way you wanna show it, you rip the shit like a pro. You really should be a poet, like Edgar Allan Poe. You killing shit and they just know it. And thanks to San Juan, I got this drink, I might just pour it. Got me feeling like Don Juan, pimping shit while they hoeing. As far as culture goes, we goated, bitch, and they know it. And I don't like to bloat it, but I know that I'm goated. I know that JP is goated. And this is not a long song, cause the credits are rolling. But I'ma tell you one more time that we fucking goated for real. Best podcast for real. Man, what's the fucking deal, yeah? Like, tell me what's the deal? The best podcast in the West, man, the king of the trill, for real. Jackie, man, told him for